Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kira Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kira. You guys, I hope today's a great day for you. I am car casting today, and it is a beautiful day on my drive. So I hope today, most of you are probably listening to me and this podcast on your drive. So I hope your drive is going awesome. I hope your day has been going really, really great. And if it's not, guess what? That's okay. Tomorrow is going to be another day, or you can turn today into a fantastic day. With that, guys, today I'm really excited because I want to talk to you about something that I've been noticing in offices when we're consulting them. And it's about what do we do with team members who say, I already do that. We already do that. So I'm excited to dive into this because I'm sure a lot of you have that and what to do when that question arises. Before I dive into today's topic, guys, if this podcast has been of service to you, if it has helped you, whether it's helped you have a better day, whether it's given you some tangible tips, some people have told me this podcast is just too good and I need to not make it as great. And the bottom line is I want to add massive value. And if you can implement these principles in your practice without our help, fantastic. Do it. I want to be able to positively impact the world of dental in the greatest way possible. If you're in office kind of like me, where I hear great ideas, but I might struggle to implement all of these great ideas, then guess what? You guys might want to become Dental Team clients, and I would love to have our team help you. So email us hello@thedentateam.com and just check and see. Everything's customizable, and we really do work on your needs, your problems, and have them specific to your practice. So guys, if this podcast has helped you, please leave us a review, share it in a Facebook forum where you can add more value, help other practices, and also you can always share it with a friend as well. So please do one of those items today. Help us spread our word and make it to be the top dental podcast out there to really help elevate teams, simplify life, and just make everybody around us better. All right, so what do we do with team members or even doctors who think we already do that? Well, let me give you guys my life example that hopefully will then turn it into your life. So what I found with teams is most of the time when we're coaching them, you guys, at the end of the day, everything we're going to coach you on for the most part is pretty basic. The way we answer phones, most of it's the same. Like 90% of how we answer phones will be the same. The way we do dentistry, most of it's the same. People doing fillings. I can tell you this because I used to work in a dental practice or a dental college, and they teach the exact same thing. So how you drop your box for an MODO, the way we do our fillings and our shadings, the way we do our band placement, the way we do root canals, the way we do implants. Guess what? Those things are pretty common across the board. Yes, you might fine tune, and that's a very key word to keep in mind, fine-tune the techniques. That's why doctors go to CE. Let's learn how we can do this better. Yes, there might be some new skills that we've never done. So for example, a new practice who's just starting up, they might not be tracking their treatment case acceptance, but they're still presenting treatment plans. So overall, the nuts and bolts of a practice is pretty consistent. We see patients, we have them come in, we give them a great experience, they call on the phone, we schedule them, they might do online scheduling, we bring them in, we seat them, we take notes and hopefully a digital chart and not a patient chart or a paper chart, and then we do dentistry on them, and then we send their information to insurance if need be, and post payments, see them back the next time, right? Like that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of an appointment. So everything we're going to coach, everything you do in a practice, 90% of it is the same in every single office. So it's that 10%. So when coaching an office, sometimes for me, it's ironic because I'll be sitting there and I'll be watching and I'll be listening, and I will say and offer suggestions. My job is not to force people to do anything. My job is to give suggestions and let teams decide what they want to implement. Sometimes I do a little more directive suggestions, but really you've got to have buy-in, and if you don't have buy-in, guess what? You're not going to go anywhere. So I have been coaching some offices, and they were struggling a lot with cancellations. Well, we were talking about some ideas, and every idea that possibly came up was, we already do that, we already do that, we already do that. And what's interesting is I was listening to this office, and they thought they were doing things, but really what I was suggesting for them to do was a one-word change in how they were discussing things. One word. I wasn't telling them to obviously call patients for recare appointments. But the way you say it, how you say it, that is usually that 10% gap that really elevates and truthfully separates the elite practices from the non-elite practices. People always ask me, Kira, what do those elite practices do? You see hundreds of practices. Literally, guys, my body, I think, has been in over 200 dental practices. That's a lot of offices to just be a sponge, absorb, watch. And what it is usually it's these 10% items that most offices aren't doing, but yet the elite ones are obsessed with them. So instead of saying, I was listening to an office who's a pretty dang good office, and they said, okay, so let's get you scheduled, which kudos to them. They said, let's get you scheduled, not do you want to get scheduled. Notice, let's get you scheduled is a directive. Do you want to get scheduled is passive. And again, guys, they basically said the exact same thing. 90% of that sentence was the same between the two examples. Guess what? The outcomes of both of those are different. Plus the tone is different. Plus how I am training my patient is different. Plus the psychology behind both of those questions was the same. One is a directed, let's get you scheduled. The other one is a question, do you want to get scheduled? When I'm do you want to get scheduled, I am on the defense. I am on the person who's on the receiving end, and I actually don't have control of that conversation. Let's get you scheduled. I am on the offense. I am directing. I am guiding this. I am assuming this is what you want to do. If I say, do you want to get scheduled? I'm assuming it's a 50-50 shot. Let's get you scheduled. I am confident we're going to do this. So there is just a confidence. There's a psychology, all of that. But yeah, guess what? That sentence, I have get you scheduled in both of them. Do you want to get scheduled? The other one, let's get you scheduled. I've got the nuts and bolts in both of them. So you can tell me, yes, of course, we ask our patients that question. I agree with you. I'm going to ask the question, do you actually say exactly what I just said? Do you phrase it as a directive, or are you phrasing it as a question? Because that right there is the 10% gap. So when team members are saying, oh, Kira, we do that, we do that, we do that. To me, what I usually gather is they're actually not listening, nor do they care to actually close that 10% gap. And honestly, what I found is until the pain is bad enough, sometimes people don't want to change. I'm never going to come in and give you something that's just busy work. That's ridiculous, guys. I'm a team member. There's no way I would ever do that. If you come to me, though, and say, hey, Kira, our cancellations are high, we need help, I'm going to give you ideas. And you'll say, yeah, we do that. And I'm going to challenge that and say, but are you doing exactly what I said? With cancellations, have you tracked for 2 weeks every single cancellation, the type, the provider? So am I talking, is it a filling? Is it a crown? Is it a new patient? Is it an existing patient? What provider was it for? What was their excuse? Was it sick? Was it COVID? Was it kids? I bet you don't do that. I would just bet some solid money on that. Because guess what? People don't think like that. They're like, yes, we say that, Kira. Yes, we do this. But guess what? If you can get me that data for 2 weeks, I can help you find the solution to it. And most of the time with cancellations, COVID, I get it. There's really nothing I can do about that right now. However, every other thing I would ask, are you asking them, gosh, Mrs. Jones, it's such a bummer to hear that. Just so you know, we do require a 48-hour notice for any appointment changes. I did not say cancellation. Any appointment changes. Dr. Blank was looking so forward to seeing you. What could I do to help you keep this appointment today? Period. Done. How many of you would just love to DIY and get the secrets of people who have been there, done that on your own time. Because I know for me, I love to learn from the best of the best, the people who have been there, done that, and can give me the shortcuts. That's why we have created our Dental A Team Virtual Academy, where it's on-demand courses for you at your fingertips, where you literally can learn the secrets from all of my experience, all of Tiffany's experience, Brittany, Dana, our entire team's experience at your fingertips. So stop taking the hard route, guys. There's a shortcut sitting there waiting for you, and it's also CE. Head on over to thedentalateam.com and click on our virtual academy. Be sure to use coupon code podcast and get started on that DIY and become the practice of your dreams. I'm not solving it. I'm not fixing it. I am literally sitting there like, listen, it's 48 hours. Dr. So-and-so is super excited to see you. What can I do to help you keep it today? They might say absolutely nothing. I'll say, what's going on with your day today? I might have some later appointments for you. I might have some earlier ones. I know we really want to keep you on there. Otherwise, I'm going to have to push you all the way out until December 4th. And then I pause again. And then you're like, Kira, you're making this super awkward. Of course I'm making it awkward. Of course I am. Because guess what? I want it to be awkward because I want to make this to where it is tricky to break up with me. And I want to make sure that they really are doing that. Plus, I also want to teach them for future. I can promise you 95% of offices, even well-trained offices, do not say that when a patient's canceling. Why? They get scared. They're busy. They want to just be like, okay, all right, perfect. So I can get you back in here. So we're not closing that gap. So when people say we do that, I would say, guess what? There are no failures. There are just results. What are your results? Your results are you're getting a lot of cancellation. So to me, that says you're actually not doing this. So let's figure out how we can enhance what you're doing to get better results. So it's enhancing what we're already doing to get better results. People who tell me I'm struggling to hit production and we can't get a new patient in, I ask, do you have new patient blocks? Yes or no? Yes, we do. How many new patient openings do you have between now and the end of the month? Because guess what? If you're seeing 50 patients who are halfway through the month, you should have 25 left open for the rest of the month. Yes or no? Because if I'm seeing 50, I need at least 50 openings. And if I'm trying to do SRP, I need 50 hygiene openings and SRP, or however many I want. Maybe I do 2 per hygienist per month. I don't know, whatever your SRP goals are. But I need to have at least 50 new patient openings and SRP openings. Are you doing that? And if we are we actually holding those blocks? Because we shouldn't be having them all filled if we're truly following that. So when team members say, Kira, I can't do this, I would ask you to dig deeper and let's find out what exactly are we doing? Where is the gap? Because 90% of it, you are right. High five. Kudos to you. You are doing that. Some things you're not. Like, that's fine. We can add that on. That's pretty easy. But it's this 10% gap that is going to literally take your practice from basic or standard or mediocre to elite. And this 10% is not easy. This 10% does not come perfectly. This 10% takes role playing and practicing and striving and trying other things to figure it out. But most of the time, it is 1 or 2 words of how we say it, how we present things that actually make all the difference. So guys, try it out. Take it to your team and dive into the areas that you're having a problem. And let's ask the questions of, what do we need to do to make this stronger? What do we need to do? Let's look at it. We can say all day long that we are calling our patients who are not confirmed. Okay, fantastic. But what's the result? Our patients aren't showing up. Okay, so that's clearly not working, or maybe we just need to fine tune that. Just like if we're not getting great results on our root canal doctors, what would you do? You'd go take a CE and you would fine tune your process. You would fine tune if your implants were failing. You're not just going to take it out and decide to put a wooden stake in their jaw. You're going to go fine tune your technique. So a lot of this is fine tuning how we say, how we present, how we're scheduling, when we're talking about treatment, and all of that is the 10% gap. So find your 10%, guys. Find that gap and make it stronger. Make it to where you're closing it, even if it's a 1% close. Track your data. Figure out where it's at. Those things will make you an elite practice. These are the things I get obsessed with doing. Do I get frustrated sometimes when team members are like, we do that. And the other day I had someone say, Kira, we want good ideas. And I was like, so what you're telling me is you want me to give you your idea that you want, which is actually to solve nothing. when the pain is bad enough, you will go into extreme measures to solve it, and you will try what? Anything. I have an office stressed out of their minds because they can't take time off because they can't find temps. Okay, we gave them a solution. What if we just found somebody who is like literally once a month that could come in and sterilize instruments from the high school? Is that person ideal? The answer is a hard pass no. But does that solve the situation of being able to take time off? Absolutely yes. Does that take work on your part to create training manuals and to figure out how to teach them and to go find someone? Absolutely yes. But what's harder? Is it harder to not be able to take time off, or is it harder to go find a high school student and train them to be your sterile tech that can suction? I don't know. You get to decide that. So try it out, guys. I think it's a really fun thing to do. If you want to take this to your practice, there's lots of different ways you can take this to your practice. If we can help you, this is what I'm obsessed with. Most of our consulting is not on the nuts and bolts. Most of you have that in your practice. Some startup practices, you don't have the nuts and bolts. And guess what? We're going to change your whole life. So call us today. Email us hello@thedentalateam.com or go to our website, thedentalateam.com, and schedule a call right now. But if you're an established practice, it's literally this 10% gap. And I will promise you, your life will be easier. Your patient's life will be easier. Your team's lives will be easier. Will it take work? Yeah. But guess what? It's easy to get the top 4 in a 6-pack. It takes work, effort, strategy to get those bottom 2 in a 6-pack. That's what we're talking about. You've got the top 4. We're good. That's easy for the most part. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we got to add that back in. But for the most part, that's the easy part. So let's change it. Let's get those bottom 2 in that 6-pack so you can be rocking it, making sure you're the most elite practice you can be. Email us hello@thedentalateam.com or head to our website, thedentalateam.com, and schedule a call with us. Guys, we have tons of openings, and just chat with us. Maybe you're a great fit. Maybe you're not. And we'll let you know. We'll let you know if we can help you and your practice with your specific problems. But just remember, most of the time it's one word. It's one little phrase change. It's the sequence of how we're doing it. It's not a lot of hard, crazy things, and that's usually what people want. They hate when they can't get those bottom 2 abs and they find out it's because of diet. Ugh. Is that actually hard? The answer is no. Is it inconvenient and makes you change your habits and where you're eating out? The answer is yes. But guess what? How bad do you want those bottom 2 in your 6-pack? How bad do you want your practice to be fixed? How bad do you want your schedule to be full? When it's bad enough, you'll look at that 10%, or when you have a culture of ownership, you'll take that as well. So try it out. Email us, schedule a call, thedentalateam.com, schedule a call, or email us hello@thedentalateam.com. As always, guys, thanks so much for listening. I can't wait to see you grow and improve that 10% gap. So thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the Dental Team Podcast. And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental Team Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.